Ma'am, actually, I'm a practicing chartered accountant, and my concern is about direct taxation and indirect taxation. And we know that Modi government is primarily focusing in corruption-free India. And we have seen that in direct taxation, it has more or less come to an end. But in indirect taxation, we need your kind attention. And we know that likewise in direct taxation, you can seriously achieve this goal in indirect taxation also. And ma'am, second one is that in indirect regime, when GST came into existence, it was it took at least 2 to 3 years to formalize itself. And during those times, we have seen that many of the business houses were struggling, and even government was also stabilizing the GST. So at that point of time, there were many inadvertent errors also. And also we have seen that government has also boosted in giving opportunities, various opportunities. But one section which is actually needed, relaxation is needed, is section 16(4). Being a chartered accountant, I have seen that various small and medium enterprises are struggling because of this
Siddharth ji,
section.
let us not get into specific
Fine,
sections.
fine. Thank you, ma'am. These are the two questions. Thank you.
If I answer your question first, extraordinary talent in fintech areas, but misguided, is noticed in Jharkhand. You'll accept that. And in fact, in your question, you did post that. But what I would think is, it is possible to channel them to provide that kind of tech that they seem to be mastering in, let us say, I'm just saying as an example, that's not the end of the story, ethical hacking. Today, every institution, when it firewalls itself so that their systems are not hacked, they are looking for people with that kind of an extraordinary mastery over handling these things, provided they do it ethically. So firewalls are being established because good applications are coming for that. Technology is giving solution. But you also need individuals who are constantly playing with things so that they are able to identify and solve problems, but ethically. So I would think the talent which lies in Jharkhand is something which the state government should give support, or if anything, financial regulators, for instance, can highlight that there are positive engagement that these people can engage in and contribute towards nation building through ethical and proper practices. So instead of spending time and using your creativity in momentary lotteries, or when I say lottery in terms of windfall that they may have by doing some not so ethical practice, they should be able to contribute through proper channel of using that skill, for which I think it is important that within Jharkhand, there should be effort to highlight the need for such talent, but not to be misguided. So that is one thing. And second, of course, building awareness. It is necessary for people not to fall for these kind of malpractices. If they don't have clients, they'll also not be able to carry on with the negative, unethical practice. Prime Minister Narendra Modi strongly believes in, when he spoke about Panch Pran, that was the message. Get out of the colonial mindset. Remember, you have a civilizational memory which is very strong and that you have to be rooted. And no development of India will be complete unless we include everybody, even as we grow forward. And that's when the goal of 2047 attains the importance. The goal of 2047 as the year by which we will attain Viksit Bharat. So why is it important? So what if we achieve Viksit Bharat or not? today the very Palayan that Sri Babulal Marandiji spoke about, which is what Jharkhand is bearing the brunt of. The talented youth, the potential that people have in Jharkhand are all getting wasted because individually they move. But it is like a swarm of bees which has gone away to make its own beehive somewhere, but not make it here. The effort of the worker bee builds the hive which gives the honey. But because of the situation which prevails here, lawlessness, no respite through the law enforcing agencies, rampant corruption, and also if there are no basic facilities, no electricity, no business creating environment, and wealth creation is seen as a rent-seeking possibility. Somebody is doing well in business, I should extract something from him because I have one little pen with which one signature is got to be given to him. There may be 1,000 signatures are required. There may be 1,000 signatures required for setting up a business. But every pen thinks that I have something to take out of this, and that perpetrates this monumental corruption, which is Jharkhand. It is hurtful to say, I'm not saying it with arrogance, I'm not saying it with, ha dekha, Jharkhand is a place for corruption. No, I'm saying it with pain. This land, I repeat, this land of Birsa Munda, people are very simple in nature. Nature is bountiful. And there are efforts of people living here to make it possible to transact, do business, add value to that wonderful wealth which is available here, and in the process help out the Adivasi, the Vanvasi, so that their culture remains intact but their well-being is improved. What can be a better case study for reflecting India's inclusive growth than development of Jharkhand itself? And if in this place, blood-seeking leeches, I don't know what you say a leech in Hindi, you know, it sticks to your body, it slowly sucks your junk. You don't even recognize that it is there with you. But gradually you start feeling there's something happening here, and see by which time enough blood is sucked out. So when you have corruption happening like that in a state which is so full of prospects, it has got to be a massive scale reformation. Reformation at every level. And at every level supported by the political dispensation, by the government, by people who are influential in the society. And that's where I think when I started off with Panchpran, when I started off with that call for stopping Palayan, which is what the Chief Minister, or the first Chief Minister of newly formed state Jharkhand, Babulal Marandiji, even today feels I have to stop Palayan. I have to have better basic supplies of electricity and good connectivity roads. And I want the state to have a non-dependence on mineral wealth. Yes, I want that. But can we do something better out of it? Make Jharkhand a manufacturing state? A very valid, workable and solution-giving route to developing Jharkhand. So I would think the first thing that I need to highlight here is, yes, of course, the connectivity. Every part of India is improving because of the roads which are being provided, the internet connectivity which is coming in. India as a whole has become power surplus. It's a different story that the DISCOMs may not be in good health in Jharkhand. They are not restoring to be in good health. Many discoms all around the country were not in good health. बट उनके लिए कुछ फॉर्मुलेशन के तहत उनका हेल्थ बढ़ाने के लिए, बेहतर करने के लिए कोशिश हुआ है, मगर उस कोशिश में झारखंड की डिस्कॉम्स का कोई असर नहीं पड़ा, क्योंकि असर पड़ने नहीं दिया। अगर पड़ने देते, आम जनता को फर्क समझ में आ जाता है, ओ दिस इज इट। नहीं, उनको वो नहीं चाहिए। वो ब्लीडिंग डिस्कॉम से फायदा है उनको। इसीलिए when I tell you that a reform will have to happen, a restoration should happen from different levels, for which both the central government and the state government will have to give you support, and then the business will have to, for sure, for some time, get the confidence that this is a land where business will be respected. Law-abiding business will be respected. And that gives a multiplier effect, and everything picks up. I don't need to quote examples of other states where law and order, when improved, automatically gets investment, people have faith. The collection of revenue, the efficiencies of the system, small businesses improving, are all there for us to see. I know, I'm sure all of you all understand मैं किस ओर देख रही हूं when I'm telling you about law and order improving. उससे इतना फर्क पड़ता है कि बाहर से जो लोग आना चाहते हैं वो जल्दी से जल्दी आकर बिजनेस स्थापना करते हैं। झारखंड का भविष्य के लिए ऐसे ही एक परिवर्तन चाहिए जिससे कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग मैकेनिज्म आराम से बैठ जाएगा, कानून व्यवस्था में फर्क आएगा, सरकार की नीयत स्पष्ट होगा कि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर इंप्रूव करूंगा, बिजनेस के माहौल अच्छा होगा, फिर बिजनेस के लिए हम साथ रहेंगे। ऐसे परिवर्तन चाहिए झारखंड के लिए। मुझसे पहले बात करने वाले वक्ता सब इस बार बजट में हमने विकसित भारत के ओर ले जाने के लिए पूर्वी राज्यों का परिवर्तन और हाउ दे शुड बिकम इंजन ऑफ ग्रोथ। प्लीज ध्यान से सुनिए इस बात को। वी आर नॉट सेइंग ईस्ट शुड बिकम डेवलप्ड, we are not saying we'll have to make east develop. And when I say east, I'm talking of Bengal, Orissa, Jharkhand, Bihar. We are not just saying they have to be developed. We are saying they should become the engine of Vikasit Bharat. And if it has got to become engine, the east, imagine the empowerment that has to be done and the effort that has got to be taken. So restoring some of the main, what they call the mother industry, the restoration of the fertilizer large factories. मैं इसमें एक स्पष्टीकरण आपके सामने रख रही हूं। At a time when Government of India is moving from traditional kind of fertilizers to nano fertilizer. More efficiency, better productivity, above all less pollution on the ground. ऐसे एक almost 180 degrees change जहां हो रही है fertilizer का उपयोग में, तब एक public sector फर्टिलाइजर फैक्ट्री को रेस्टोर करने का मैसेज क्या है? हम रेस्टोर कर रहे हैं, ये जो चेंज होने वाले हैं, हो रही है, उस चेंज में इस नाउ रेस्टोर्ड फैक्ट्री का कंट्रीब्यूशन, एक फ्यूचरिस्टिक अप्रोच से इसको रेस्टोर किया गया। दैट इज व्हाट इज द अंडरलाइंग मैसेज, दैट Restoration is not happening in Gujarat or Maharashtra or somewhere else of that fertilizer producing unit. It is being restored here at a time when agriculture's approach itself is changing, indicating that you are setting the agenda for a changing agricultural practice. उदाहरण के लिए दूसरे और विषय आपके सामने रख रही हूं. How much ever a state is developed, within that state there are some districts which are backward. They need more push to become better. उसको हम बैकवर्ड ना कहते हुए एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट बोलते हैं, जो एस्पायर करते हैं आगे सामने आने के लिए, प्रोग्रेस करने के लिए. Of the total 112 aspirational districts all over India, 42 are in the eastern region. Probably I'm not counting Bengal because on the aspirational districts, work there is not moving that fast. So 42 aspirational districts सिर्फ उड़ीसा, झारखंड और बिहार में है. उधर डायरेक्टली माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के डायरेक्ट सुपरविजन के साथ उनके डेवलपमेंट हो रही है. और हमारे एक्सपीरियंस बोलती हैं बाकी सब स्टेट्स में एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट का प्रोग्रेस अभी वो स्टेट के एवरेज से भी ज्यादा हो रही है, जिससे वो भी वो स्टेट का एवरेज पहुंच रहे हैं या उससे बेहतर भी रीच हो रही हैं. सो माय clear suggestion to you is aspirational districts are now going to be further monitored as aspirational blocks. So at that level, a lot of economic activity is being churned out because of government's attention. I don't want to highlight the importance of minerals, but I'm doing it only because मिनरल डिपेंडेंसी नहीं, मगर मिनरल बेस्ड, मिनरल आधारित मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का फोकस के लिए एक बार याद दिलाती हूं. टोटल कंट्रीज 40% aggregate all minerals put together deposits are in Jharkhand. 40% of the countries. And in that 28% is of coal, 26% is of iron, 25% cobalt, 18% of copper, and 6% of bauxite. Every activity that you want to think in terms of investing and manufacturing based on these can always be undertaken here instead of carrying that mineral and going elsewhere to produce. So I would think the focus should be on getting investments to bring value addition to these minerals located in Jharkhand. The District Mineral Foundation, which was set up in 2015, was the first ever attempt to give back to the people living in this state what is being earned out of the minerals which are extracted here. Till then, no, there was a complete mismatch. People would extract, the government would benefit, the mineral will go out, but the local people got nothing at the district level. So after the launch of Pradhan Mantri Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana, I just want to highlight what is the amount that has been collected. You're all eminent citizens of Jharkhand. You'll understand the importance of what is being collected effortlessly because the extraction of minerals is happening here. All over the country, 86,000 crores have been collected. In that, Jharkhand collected 12,000 crores. And from the 12,000 crores, just a comparison, Orissa collected 25,400 crores, West Bengal collected 350 crores, sorry, 150 crores. But in Jharkhand alone, for the 12,000 crores connected, 24,500 projects have been launched. 24,500 projects in a state based just on the mineral fund which has been collected, nothing to do with the state's budget. And in that, this was launched only in 2015. In the last 5 years, 15,000 projects have been completed. It may be at the district level, block level, whatever. So money came, it was used, and projects have been completed. Now, therefore, I would want to highlight the fact, the monies which have been coming to the state, because sitting in Delhi, मुझे बार बार सुनने को आता है कि झारखंड के लिए मोदी सरकार कुछ पैसा नहीं भेजती है, हमें क्या बोलते हैं स्टेप मदरली ट्रीटमेंट मिल रहा है, मोदी जी सौतेला व्यवहार हो रही है, और मोदी जी को हमारे झारखंड के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं है, ये सब बोला जाता है। मैं आज, क्योंकि आप लोग डॉक्टर्स हैं, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं, झारखंड चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स के मेंबर्स हैं, थोड़ा समय लेकर के आपके सामने फैक्ट्स रखना चाहती हूं। 24-25 में जो बजट वोट ऑन अकाउंट हुआ 1 फरवरी 2024 में, उसमें रिकॉर्ड ब्रेकिंग बजटरी एलोकेशन झारखंड के लिए हुआ है 7,234 crores ओनली फॉर रेलवे प्रोजेक्ट्स। रिकॉर्ड पूरे स्टेट के लिए नहीं, झारखंड में जो रेलवे है, सिर्फ झारखंड के हिस्से के लिए, रेलवे के लिए 7,234 crores का रेलवे प्रोजेक्ट्स का बजटरी एलोकेशन हो चुका है। इससे पहले 2009-14 यूपीए सरकार के समय एलोकेशन आपको सुनने में हैरान हो जाएंगे आप, 457 crore। 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 annual outlay of 457 crores. Now what is the allocation given this time? 7,234 crores. In Prime Minister Modi's time, Jharkhand has achieved 100% railway electrification, and that was achieved by November 2023. 57 stations, railway stations, are being redeveloped under the Amrit Bharat railway stations. 3 Vande Bharat trains have been introduced from Ranchi to Varanasi, Ranchi to Patna, and Ranchi to Howrah. Devgar Airport has been completely constructed, and it is now operational. 2,256 kilometers of national highways which pass through Jharkhand have all been completed. Varanasi, Ranchi, Kolkata Greenfield Corridor is being developed under the Bharatmala Pariyojana, and it will completely benefit Jharkhand. 1,000 kilometers of national highway corridors have been total capital for that which has been allocated is 30,575 crores, and that is approved for Jharkhand. I spoke a minute ago about the revival of Sindri fertilizer, and that was done at a cost of 8,900 crores. So Prime Minister Modi, सौतेला व्यवहार आर्ग्यूमेंट का मैं उदाहरण के लिए 4-5 डेटा दी हूं जिसका अमाउंट यूपीए सरकार के 400 जैसे अमाउंट नहीं है, हर आइटम के ऊपर हजारों करोड़ का अमाउंट ऑलरेडी सैंक्शन हो चुका है, या तो काम कंप्लीटेड है या तो आने वाले के लिए पैसा अलोकेटेड है। इसीलिए आई वांट टू हाईलाइट द फैक्ट एंड नॉट टेक मोर टाइम, वी कैन ऑलवेज स्पीक। झारखंड के लिए एक अच्छा सा रिप्रेजेंटेशन चाहिए। मोदी जी की सरकार दोबारा फॉर्म हो रही है, थर्ड टर्म में भारत के इकोनॉमी 5वीं स्थान से 3री स्थान पहुंचने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने अपने आप घोषणा कर चुके हैं कि आने वाले 1 आध साल में हम 3री स्थान में पहुंच जाएंगे। उसमें झारखंड के भागीदारी होना ही चाहिए। इसीलिए पार्लियामेंट के इलेक्शन में भी हम ध्यान से, मैं किसी पार्टी का नाम नहीं ले रही हूं, किसी निशान पार्टी का सिंबल के ऊपर कुछ नहीं बोल रही हूं, ध्यान से मैं हाथ जोड़ करके आप सबके सामने बोल रही हूं, इस देश के हित में वोट करिए, इस देश के भलाई के लिए वोट करिए, इस देश का अच्छा नेतृत्व के लिए वोट करिए, इस देश करप्शन रहित चलाने के लिए वोट करिए। हमें जंगल राज नहीं चाहिए। वो चला गया, उस जमाना अलग है, हम झारखंड बना दिया, वी आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ बिहार। हां जी, अलग बना दिया, मगर नया जंगल राज भी शुरू हुआ इधर। पुराना तो हो गए, पुराना छोड़कर आप झारखंड में आए, मगर वो नया जंगल राज से झारखंड खंडित होना चाहिए। झारखंड अलग होना चाहिए ये नया जंगल राज से। मुझे याद है जब मैं कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री में थी, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस का रैंकिंग उस समय पहले बार शुरू हुआ, 2 बार तक में थी, 3री बार में फेरबदल में कहीं और चले गए। एकदम सरप्राइज मुझे लगा जब झारखंड वॉज द टॉप 5 स्टेट इन ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, टॉप 5 में एक झारखंड। और लोग बोले व्हाट, झारखंड? क्योंकि आदत हो गया है, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, तमिलनाडु, हरियाणा बार बार हम सुन रहे हैं, वो मेंटेन करते हैं भी। मगर तब 5वीं स्थान के अंदर 1 ऑफ द 5 में झारखंड केम एज वन ऑफ द स्टेट्स फॉर ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस। मगर उसके बाद जब सरकार बदली, नया जंगल राज शुरू हुई, तो रैंक क्या, कुछ भी नहीं बचा। इसीलिए मैं मानती हूं ये हर पेन का रेंट सीकिंग, हर सिग्नेचर का पैसा मांगना, ये सब बंद होना है। पूरे देश में लोग बोलते हैं कि ईडी और सीबीआई सभी जगह ऑपोजिशन पर, दुख से कहना पड़ रहा है कि दीवार तक कैश, पाताल तक कैश झारखंड में मिल रही है। और 2 जो उदाहरण टॉप में है, जहां काउंटिंग मशीन बैंकों से मंगवा करके ईडी का लोग रख के काउंट कर रहे हैं, मशीन गर्म हो जा रहा है, काम खत्म नहीं हो रहे। ऐसे उदाहरण झारखंड से ही मिल रहा है। मैं इसीलिए आपके सामने, उसको हम हंसी मजाक से बोल रहे हैं, मगर दुख से हम सोचना चाहिए, क्या यही है झारखंड का हालात? हमारा नसीब यही है झारखंड में? क्यों हम सुधर नहीं सकते? और बिजनेस करना क्या चोरी करना है क्या? मर्डर तक हो रही है जो बिजनेस कर रहा है। अरे जो मैंने डिमांड करता हूं वो पैसा अगर नहीं देते हो तो मान लो आपका कल सुबह नहीं होगी। ऐसे क्राइम का बिजनेस करने वाला स्टेट के लिए अच्छा है, वेल्थ क्रिएट कर रहा है और लोगों को रोजगार दे रहा है, उनको खत्म करके क्या हम साबित कर रहे हैं इस स्टेट में? एनसीआरबी के रिकॉर्ड 2022 में फाइनेंशियल और पॉलिटिकल रीजन से मर्डर जो इधर हुआ है was 795, highest in the country rate of murder. So इन सब को बदलना चाहिए। मैं और ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगी। माइग्रेशन एक सीरियस प्रॉब्लम, particularly in about 3 districts. It is changing the demography of the state. Sahibganj, Santal Parganas and Godda. एकदम पॉपुलेशन का इतना चेंज सडनली इतना होना, वो भी पिछले 4 साल 4.5 साल में इतना भयंकर होना इश्यू ऑफ कंसर्न है। गिरिडीह के विषय में माननीय फॉर्मर चीफ मिनिस्टर ने बात किया है। उधर एक अक्टूबर 23 में एक प्रॉपर्टी डिस्प्यूट के ऊपर दलितों को इतना बुरी हालत हुआ। इस स्टेट में जहां हम बिरसा मुंडा के नमन करते हैं, यहां एससी एसटी लोग के ऊपर इतना भयंकर वायलेंस एब्सोल्युटली अनएक्सेप्टेबल है। इससे ज्यादा मैं अभी नहीं बोलती हूं, क्योंकि कितना ट्राइबल के लिए हाउसेस बना, पानी किन किन घर में गया, जल जीवन मिशन का सक्सेस क्या है, पीएम आवास योजना में कितने लोगों को घर मिला, वो सब डेटा आपके सामने आएगा। मगर अभी मौका है लोकसभा चुनाव के द्वारा एक संदेश देना है। बेहतर झारखंड के लिए हम सब काम कर रहे हैं। अच्छा लोग को चुनकर हम भेजेंगे पार्लियामेंट में, और आने वाले असेंबली में बेहतर झारखंड के लिए हम सब इकट्ठा होकर के अच्छा सरकार बनाएंगे। जोहार।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hereby request Shri Vivek ji to take the interactive session forward.
Good afternoon once again. Before we begin the interactive session with the Honorable Finance Minister, just a general word of caution for the audience that this event is organized keeping in mind the Model Code of Conduct. So we cannot expect our distinguished guests to make any new announcement on this stage. So I open the discussion. Past President of FJCCI, Shri K.K. Poddar. If we can have the mic to K.K. Poddar ji here. यहाँ माइक दे देंगे के पोद्दार जी को। सर,
बहुत धन्यवाद।
सर प्लीज।
विवेक जी, मयूर जी एवं हमारी यशस्वी वित्त मंत्री हमारे देश की निर्मला सीतारमण जी, मैं जो प्रश्न आपसे करना चाहता हूँ वो बहुत कुछ एक्सप्लेन आपके द्वारा और बाबूलाल जी मरांडी के द्वारा विवेक जी, मयूर जी ने उसे काफ़ी क्लियर कर दिया है। लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी चूँकि मुझे ये टास्क दिया गया है फेडरेशन ऑफ झारखंड चेंबर ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्रीज़ की तरफ से कि मैं ये प्रश्न करूं, मैं वो प्रश्न आपसे करना चाहता हूं। आप लोगों ने जितनी भी बातें बताई उसके अलावा एक सबसे बड़ा हमारे यहाँ जो ग्रोथ में मैं इसे कहूँगा एक रोक आ जाती है, वो है हमारे आदिवासी भाइयों का कल्चर, जमीन एवं इन्विरोनमेंट को बरकरार रखना, जिसकी वजह से विकास के ऊपर एक रोक जैसी आ जाती है, खासकर कॉमर्शियल आर्थिक विकास के ऊपर। तो मैडम, मेरा इस बैकग्राउंड में आपसे ये प्रश्न है कि क्या हमारे आदिवासी भाइयों के जमीन, कल्चर और इस प्रदेश के इन्विरोनमेंट को बचाने के लिए हमें पूरी तरह से आर्थिक विकास से समझौता कर लेना पड़ेगा, या कोई ऐसा एक तरीका है, एक मैं कहूँगा बीच का रास्ता है, जिसे कि आप अगर बताने की चेष्टा करें कि हम कैसे उस बीच के रास्ते पे चल के दोनों चीज़ रख सकें। हमें अपने भाइयों का, हमारे मूलवासियों का, आदिवासियों का कल्चर को भी सुरक्षित रखना है, ज़मीन को भी सुरक्षित रखना है, और साथ ही साथ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ को भी करना है। मैं ज़्यादा भाषण देना नहीं चाहता हूँ, नहीं देना चाहिए था मुझे, मैंने बहुत दिया है, लेकिन मुझे ये आपसे कहने की आवश्यकता, हमारे चेंबर को आपसे कहने की आवश्यकता इसलिए पड़ी है कि आप स्वयं देख सकती हैं कि कितना पीछे हम आज भी हैं ग्रोथ में, जबकि आप ही ने कहा 40% मिनरल हमारे पास। एक और मैं आपको
सर थोड़ा शॉर्ट रखेंगे क्वेश्चन।
अच्छा, नहीं तो मैं कंक्लूड कर देता हूँ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। मैं जो चेंबर ने मुझे प्रश्न दिया था उसे मैं हूबहू पढ़ देता हूँ। Do you see these two crossroads, that is the preserving the culture of Adivasis and Moolvasis and economic growth to become zero by this, or there is a middle path on which we can move?
Thank you, Poddarji, for your very senior, and on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, you've asked the most critical question for Jharkhand. And I would think there cannot be a compromise in this or in that. We need to have a very clear middle way in which all stakeholders give their input. We cannot bring solutions to the Adivasis or the Vanvasis as though it is our solution. It is, if it is not in consultation with them, the solution need not be accepted by them. So I would think it is important to engage with the Adivasis. They make up for a large number in this state. And therefore we'll have to talk with them and see how best they want to perceive their own growth. And I want to highlight the effort which Honorable Prime Minister has taken for the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, the PVTGs. And in that, we are grateful for the guidance that we've received from Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, Draupadi Murmu Ji, in saying this is how it should be done for the sake of those people, and it can't be you have a one-size-fits-all. For instance, when we were talking about the PVTGs, if you really go with the usual PM Awas Yojana, the way it is, for a panchayat, if this many houses are there, you go build it, and everybody gets the house. Cannot be applicable in the case of, I've taken one random example, but cannot be applicable in the case of particularly vulnerable tribal groups, because they probably have 5 people, 5 households in one area, and another far-flung area, another 5 households. So the addressing of the problem for the tribal groups, to get the same access for them, to get drinking water for them, to get electricity for them, to have some kind of a way in which their products can be brought to the market, solutions will have to be tailor-made for their requirements. So if that is one side of the story, Nothing is going to stop Jharkhand from attaining full potential, especially with all the endowment it has. So this is, I wouldn't even see it as being in crossroads. They can run parallel. And both the communities and the youth from all these communities, both from Adivasi and from the others, can benefit if proper skilling reaches, if digital commerce can reach every area, one district, but I'm sure we'll have to work together with the businesses, with the communities which are building Jharkhand and with the tribes themselves.
Ma'am, with your permission, can I take 2-3 questions and so we'll take 2-3 questions and have our guest answer them at once. Kunal Ajwani ji.
Namaskar, Johar. Respected ma'am, when we talk about Jharkhand, first thing comes is mining, as we are discussing. And mining has its own, like we have this blessings and curse. We are rich in mines, poor in revenue. And it's an often demand raised by the state government that there are too much dues left with the center government, so that these things are hampering the development of the state. And on the other hand, the state themselves, they are not able to regenerate their revenues. Like you said, we don't have industries coming out here. We just see our neighbor states, like Orissa is there. Their revenue is more than 7 times above than Jharkhand, but the deficit in the iron ore reserves is just 9 to 10%. So I would like to know what is your take on the same. Thank you.
FGCCI past President Manoj Naredi ji.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I come directly to the question. Modi Sarkar has done away with over 2,000 obsolete colonial area laws. As a result, India has moved significantly up the ladder on the ease of doing business rankings. Ease of doing business is still a challenge in states like Jharkhand, and we didn't achieve a lot in this direction till now. Whereas we are rich in minerals and natural resources. My question is, what is next on the center's agenda during the next 5 years in line with the same, and how the state like Jharkhand can do it for better Jharkhand? Thank you.
I think both questions have probably the same answers, and the answers are also known to you. If I were to answer your question first, sir, reforms taking steps to ease business, ease doing business. I didn't give you the data, I'm sure you're aware. More than 49,000 laws were removed, 1,500 laws were removed, 49,000 rules and regulations have been simplified. Criminalized aspects of law have all been, the rules have all been brought down so that they can be compounded and fines can be paid. So that process began and continues. At the central level, it has to be more driven by ease of doing as is now, and we'll continue doing it. We've also got interest and sense of healthy competition among states for ease of doing business. Except, of course, some states don't even want to be part of it. Now we are taking it further down to the panchayats and the local bodies. So the answer is, will these reforms continue? Will we do more of it? What is it that we want to do more? We'll do more of this. Take it down to the level of panchayats and local bodies. And even improve it further with the center and the states. But the obstructions which states have posed, some states, not many, not all, is something which you recognize implicitly through your question, So it is for us to understand the power of our franchise, that one vote. Do you want states to remain outside of the massive path in which India is moving forward for petty considerations? For not national consideration, not even for the state's consideration, but one family's consideration? For one dynasty's consideration? Do you want the state to suffer because the path is open and you're seeing people move on it, but your state wants to stand out in not moving with it? So who has the power? It is you. Do you want to support people who are obstructing Jharkhand from moving forward? That's the solution.
Moving ahead. Vineet from Cyberpeace. Can you identify yourself, Vineet? Yes. And then Siddhar Jain, please be ready with the mic. Siddhar Jain, please identify yourself.
नमस्कार मैम, आई एम मेजर विनीत, आई एम फ्रॉम साइबर पीस. एक क्वेश्चन है मैम, एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज ऑफ अ ह्यूज काइंड ऑफ अ पेन टू मी. झारखंड को हम जानते हैं आज के दिन में फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड के हब से, whereas the state could have been a key player in the technology arena and it could have been a hub for technology. While Government of India has done a lot when it comes to financial inclusion, financial literacy, but these kind of hotbeds are getting established everywhere. So in your views, ma'am, what do you see the future of the state? Is it going to be known as the cybercrime hotbed of the entire country, or it is going to be the key player for major attracting key investment, technology investments in the state? Thank you.
Siddhar Jain. Mic to him, please. CA Siddhar Jain.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I'm a practicing chartered accountant, and my concern is about direct taxation and indirect taxation. And we know that Modi government is primarily focusing in corruption-free India. And we have seen that in direct taxation, it has more or less come to an end. But in indirect taxation, we need your kind attention. And we know that likewise in direct taxation, you can seriously achieve this goal in indirect taxation also. And ma'am, second one is that in indirect regime, when GST came into existence, it took at least 2 to 3 years to formalize itself. And during those times, we have seen that many of the business houses were struggling, and even government was also stabilizing the GST. So at that point of time, there were many inadvertent errors also. And also we have seen that government has also boosted in giving opportunities, various opportunities. But one section which is actually needed, relaxation is needed, is section 16(4). Being a chartered accountant, I have seen that various small and medium enterprises are struggling because of this
Siddharth ji,
section.
let us not get into specific sections.
Fine.
Oh.
Thank you, ma'am. These are the two questions. Thank you.
If I answer your question first, extraordinary talent in fintech areas, but misguided, is noticed in Jharkhand. You'll accept that. And you, in fact, in your question, you did post that. But what I would think is, it is possible to channel them to provide that kind of tech that they seem to be mastering in, let us say, I'm just saying as an example, that's not the end of the story, ethical hacking. Today, every institution, when it firewalls itself so that their systems are not hacked, they are looking for people with that kind of an extraordinary mastery over handling these things, provided they do it ethically. So firewalls are being established because good applications are coming for that. Technology is giving solution. But you also need individuals who are constantly playing with things so that they are able to identify and solve problems, but ethically. So I would think the talent which lies in Jharkhand is something which the state government should give support, or if anything, financial regulators, for instance, can highlight that there are positive engagement that these people can engage in and contribute towards nation building through ethical and proper practices. So instead of spending time and using your creativity in momentary lotteries, or when I say lottery in terms of windfall that they may have by doing some not so ethical practice, they should be able to contribute through proper channel of using that skill, for which I think it is important that within Jharkhand, there should be effort to highlight the need for such talent, but not to be misguided. So that is one thing. And second, of course, building awareness. It is necessary for people not to fall for these kind of malpractices. If they don't have clients, they'll also not be able to carry on with the negative, unethical practice.